Aloha, I'm Kimo Kiawe, your host for this special segment of Giving Aloha. Today, our special guests are with the Hawaii Centers for Independent Living, a nonprofit organization run for and by the people with disabilities. At this time, I'd like to introduce our distinguished panel. First of all, the president of the Hawaii Centers for Independent Living, or HCIL. This is Miss Betty Mason.
Hello.
Next, we have all the way from the island of Hilo. She is our senior IL specialist. This is Raylene Souza.
Hello.
And next to Raylene is a gentleman who is a recipient and a consumer. Recipient who is received the services of the Hawaii Centers for Independent Living. This is Mr. Glenn Sawai.
Aloha.
And this young lady here is our statewide grant writer. This is Ku'ulei Manupau.
Aloha.
You know, the Hawaii Centers for Independent Living, or HCIL, is dedicated to ensuring that people with disabilities of all types are able to live independently. Our mission is to ensure the rights of people with disabilities to live independently and fully integrated in the community outside of institutionalized care settings. HCIL has been in operation since 1981 and has served all types of people with all types of disabilities. Estimates are about 110,000 people in Hawaii have some form of disability. Of that number, surprisingly, 33,000 or so face severe limitations on one or more of their major life activity. I'd like to now talk with Betty Mason, who is our president with the Hawaii Centers for Independent Living, to give us some background. But first of all, Betty, I know being as a board president, there is a lot of responsibilities, but how did you get involved with the Hawaii Centers for Independent Living?
Well, in 1997, I was living in Honaunau area and became a consumer of HCIL services because I became legally blind. And as a consumer, I received a lot of services and then met with a young lady named Betsy Whitney, who asked me to be on the Mayor's Advisory Council for people with disabilities. And we just hit it off. I served on that committee with great pleasure. And then after my husband died, I had to get transportation because I could not get a driver's license. So I moved to Honolulu and again became involved with HCIL, and Betsy's instigation said, you know, I would be a good member for their board. And I was asked to join their board, and I did join it in 2006, I believe it was. Okay,
great. And now that you are the board president for HCIL, I know you mentioned Betsy Whitney, who was probably one of the founding members for the Hilo office and a staunch supporter of HCIL. And we're going to talk to Raylene a little bit more regarding Betsy. But what are the responsibilities or duties as a member of the board of directors?
Well, it requires you to pay attention to the finances, to the operations, to see that our executive director is following our missions, the board guidelines, and the overseeing that we keep in mind of our goal that we keep people with disabilities functioning as fully as they can in everyday living. It's just a matter of keeping our minds sharp, keeping our physical ability as much as we can, and whatever things that are available that we may not know about, the ability to get services that as a person with a disability you might not be aware of, but our independent living specialists know of these things. And this is what we want to get through to people with disabilities that contact us. There are a lot of services that are available out there, and you need to know how to get them. And HCIL can help you find them.
Wow. You know, independent living members of Hawaii's disability community face very special challenges in their life. Typically, the greatest challenge of all is to overcome the obstacle that lies between them and what they desire most. You know, what they want to do to regain control of their lives and maximize their potential. At HCIL, our independent living specialists assist our clients or consumers with disabilities in reaching their goals. And we're so happy that to be with us today all the way from Hilo. She is our senior IL specialist, and we talk about IL specialist, it means independent living specialist. And through counseling and training in independent living skills, housing, transportation, assistance, and a wealth of other services, the vast majority of HCIL clients are able to accomplish greater independent and to a better result of a higher quality of life. So I want to welcome Raylene Souza all the way from Hilo, Hawaii. The first thing I got to ask is, how's the weather in Hilo, Raylene?
Oh, it was good today.
It was good today.
Yeah,
it was good
we've been
today.
having lots of rain, typical Hilo, but it was nice today. Really
So
good.
how long have you been an independent living specialist serving the greater Hilo community?
I've been an independent living specialist for 17 years now, and I've really enjoyed working with people with disabilities. I find that people with disabilities are very caring, and they're just like all of us. They identified a need, and they've had barriers. And so with that, being able to work with them through these barriers is a very rewarding job to have. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
One of the things with the Hawaii Centers for Independent Living is that 51%, at least 51% of our staff have some form of disability. And it's kind of important when you are dealing with consumers with disability, mainly when it comes to like peer counseling. Does that help when you're dealing with consumers in peer counseling?
Yes. In fact, basically we have two support groups on the Big Island. I have a traumatic brain injury support group, and then I also have a group that they have developmentally disabled. And so their support group is a peer support, and also they do social recreation. So I'm finding, that a lot of them who've been isolated are able to come together and encourage each other and identify the same type of barriers that they're having in one that has already gone through it, being able to tell the other one and encouraging the other, and I've been seeing a lot of growth. So it's wonderful. I love the peer approach that the center has.
Great. When people think about services being provided to our disability or persons with disability, there is no restriction to age, is there?
No, that's what makes the Center for Independent Living Services so unique, is that we service all age groups, and we also services all disabilities. Other disability organizations specifically deal with one disability, but not the center. We accept all disabilities, yeah.
And that includes our hearing impaired,
That's correct.
our vision impaired, those with mobility, those that need physical. We also try to assist in resourcing out to the those that have a intellectual disability in all sorts. So I'm going to come back to you a little bit later to talk about Hilo in particular. But besides peer counseling and all the other things, our consumers take advantage of the services and provided. I know one of the things they do in the very beginning is to first come on board and go through an intake service where our specialists then look at ways that we can help them with their disabilities or, of course, with their concerns. And that way, with the intake service, it actually helps. And, HCIL